My dear child, hear this plainly. The load on your shoulders is lifting. I am not speaking in riddles. A real change is underway. The long stretch of heaviness and hidden movement is almost over. You are at the brink of what comes next. Know this. This moment has purpose and timing. The heaviness that clung to your mornings will fade like mist at sunrise. Your breath will deepen, and your stance will feel lighter, not by effort, but because the burden itself is gone. Worries that filled your late-night thoughts will loosen and drift away. This easing is concrete. It will touch your routines, your connections, and even the calm tone you use with yourself. Let that certainty settle into you as naturally as dawn follows night. Allow courage to rise in simple choices today. Finish a task, speak encouragement, take one clear step forward. Each action will echo the freedom that is arriving. I have been beside you at every breath and every step. I watched not only the times your trust was obvious, but especially the hidden moments when a quiet thought reached for me. I noticed the stretches when you felt invisible and soundless days flowed one after another. I stayed. I saw the grit it took to keep going when the path felt dim. My attention never drifted. My care never paused. I remember each morning you rose though weariness lingered. Each evening you laid down questions you could not answer. I watched the small acts of kindness you offered even when you felt empty. Nothing about your ordinary hours escaped me. Not the sighs behind closed doors, nor the dreams you set aside so others could succeed. I stayed close during the long silence you could not put into words, during the wait that felt endless, during the monotone days packed with muted questions and hushed prayers. I knew the landscape of your inner world. Your quiet loyalty never slipped past me. I do not look for showy displays. I look for honest resolve. You chose the harder path when quitting looked easier. You hung on to a sliver of hope, though nothing around you hinted you should. That steady choice means more than you know. Remember the moments when encouragement was scarce, yet you still whispered thank you. Those whispers echoed loudly to me. The waits that others dismissed as wasted time became chapters of faith recorded in my memory. Doubt, fear, old disappointments, and every false story that tried to drain your courage cannot block what is unfolding. The set time has arrived. The drawn-out struggle, the slow push forward that felt like standing still, meets its conclusion here. Momentum is shifting. Fresh movement has begun. You will sense energy where there was fatigue, clarity where there was fog, focus where there was scattered thought. Questions that once looped in your mind will gain answers. Expect the subtle rhythm of progress to become obvious, like steady footsteps on a quiet road. Nothing that tried to hold you back can outlast this appointed turn. When you heard only quiet, I was still active. I adjusted events and details to suit the next stage. What felt like delay was protection. What looked like a pause was steady preparation. I used that span to build strength in you and to lay solid ground beneath you. Nothing in your story has been wasted. Each tear, each unasked question, each wordless sigh stayed in my sight. I placed people beside you at just the right second, rerouted plans to guard your peace, and closed settings that would have drained you. I worked in the background, much like roots deepen out of view, drawing what is needed until growth breaks above the surface. Trust that every rearrangement served a bigger picture you will soon appreciate. I know the load you carried in the hidden corners of your heart. I watched you press a smile into place while disappointment sat beside you. I noticed the care you gave to others even as you wondered whether I still noticed you or the quiet trust behind your actions. I saw the private fights, the tears no one tracked, the tug of war between hope and heaviness. I stayed in that struggle with you, aware of every ounce of resolve it required to keep leaning toward light. I remember the nights when sleep would not come, and the only thing left was a silent plea for strength. I valued those honest cries far above polished declarations. Even when support was scarce and applause absent, you kept choosing compassion, proving that courage can remain gentle. Know this, none of it was wasted. Each wait was quiet construction. Each apparent delay carried purpose, adding strength and depth. Every prayer that seemed to vanish found its place in a larger promise you could not yet see. You were not idle. You stood your ground. Through it all, I stayed near, shaping something valuable that only time and experience could uncover. You will look back and realize that the very steady pace you once questioned allowed you to gain tools you could not have gained at full speed. You have developed in ways you have not yet noticed. Your trust grew, not through smooth days, but by choosing to lean on me during rough ones. Your insight has sharpened, helping you sort what lasts from what fades. Your inner roots settled deeper, giving you steadier balance. This stretch was never punishment. It was careful preparation for the new things now opening before you. Soon you will see fresh confidence rise without arrogance, and calm authority replace uncertainty. The values tested in difficulty will guide you reliably in easier seasons. You will notice yourself responding to pressure with measured calm instead of haste. Friends will ask what changed, sensing the settled peace in your words. The assurance you now carry will invite collaboration and lift others. Even everyday tasks will feel lighter because you no longer question your worth at every turn. Because you stayed open to me when answers were scarce, everything is moving. The drawn-out pause is turning into quick steps. What crawled is starting to stride. Hidden progress is stepping into daylight. The process was never pointless. It simply reached its finish. Prepare for stacked opportunities, where one opening leads smoothly into another. Tasks that once stalled will come together without strain. People who overlooked you will now recognize the value you carry. Resources will line up and timing will align so closely you will marvel at the coordination. Stay steady, yet be ready to respond. Acceleration requires flexible obedience. Keep your attention on what matters so you do not miss the signals to move. Resist the urge to apologize for progress. Own it with humility and joy. Remember that speed is not chaos. It is intention finally finding room to run. I respect the path you have taken. I know the price of your quiet choices. The whispered prayers even you may have forgotten. The inner debate before each act of trust. Now I am responding with action. Not only reassurance. You will watch what lived inside you show up outside you. What was once only felt will become concrete. The answers are no longer pending, they are arriving. Notice how situations begin to align without force, how conversations open doors you did not knock on, how timing seems tailored for you. My response will carry a gentle boldness that leaves room for your own decision-making while still displaying my guidance. As these answers unfold, pause and acknowledge them. Gratitude will keep your perspective clear and your motives clean. Share your story honestly so others can trace the same care and find courage. This change is no accident. The wait ends not because the calendar turned, but because purpose aligns for you now. The timing was set long before you knew what you would need. I am neither early nor late. Do not second guess it, and do not let old doubts steal what you feel. The shift is real, and I am at work. View this moment as a doorway. Step through it with confidence. If you find your mind reaching for past disappointments, remind yourself that they belong to a different chapter. Recognize the fresh air of new possibility around you. Let gratitude replace comparison, and hope replace hesitation. Celebrate each small confirmation. They are markers placed to reassure you that the route is sound. The gentle urgency you feel, the sharper awareness, the quiet stirring, signals my presence, confirming the work I began out of sight and am now making visible. You will notice old patterns break, worn cycles end, fear loosen. Calm will lift the pressure and favor will appear where only pushback stood. Paths are clearing, obstacles that looked fixed are moving, locked doors are opening. The way ahead is coming into focus. Expect sudden clarity regarding choices that once seemed tangled. Relationships will shift. Some will deepen while others will gracefully fade, making room for healthy connections. You will find unexpected help from places you never thought to look. Reminders that I am coordinating beyond your view. Creative ideas that slept will begin to stir, nudging you toward fresh ventures and renewed curiosity. New skills will present themselves to be learned at just the right pace. Keep track of these insights so they are not lost. Many will grow into practical steps that shape your next chapter. Remember this: I stayed with you through every part. When confusion filled your mind and tiredness pulled at your body, when prayers ended in tears, I did not look away. Your voice, even whispered, reached me. You may have felt forgotten, yet those moments shaped you. What seemed like stillness was quiet, strengthening. Soon you will see why. You will witness good rise from what looked empty. You will hold what I promised and understand the timing. You will live the words spoken and see how every delay carried wisdom. The lessons drawn from barren ground will become nourishment for others who feel lost, allowing your story to serve as a map. I am not calling you to push harder. Breathe, accept, and walk forward with ready hands and hopeful heart. I will guide you one step at a time and confirm each turn. Peace will stand ahead of every choice. Signs of my nearness will surround you. This is not your finish line. It is the end of the silence, the end of the hidden fight, the end of feeling trapped, the end of asking whether more is possible. You leave waiting and enter becoming, and it starts now. Travel lightly, release old weight so new joy fits easily. Set realistic rhythms that allow rest as well as progress, for I delight in steady and deliberate sustainable growth. With the wait over, I also want you to grasp why I chose this route with you. Others might misread your path because they see only surfaces and timelines. I never judge by those measures. I looked at your heart, at the quiet fight to stay near me, at the honest longing mixed with doubt or fatigue. Hear this clearly. I am pleased with you. You are not late, not excessive, not overlooked. You stand exactly where I expected at this point, and I have never regretted a part of your story. Let that truth settle over every prior comment that hinted you were behind. Let it dismantle the inner critic that expects perfection and demands speed. In your quiet thoughts, you have wondered what I truly think of you. You have asked, perhaps without words, am I still useful? Am I still noticed? Am I still worthy of the hopes I once carried? Hear me, yes. You are useful, more so because of the road you have walked. You are fully seen. You are worthy, not by flawless effort, but because I formed you on purpose and spoke your name before time began. Nothing about your personality surprises me, and no weakness disqualifies you. The traits you call flaws often hold the exact empathy needed for the people I will bring across your path. Embrace yourself with the same patience I extend to you. I have never turned away from you in frustration. I have never muttered, "Too broken, too fragile, or too unstable." Even on your weakest days, I looked at you with steady love and patient expectation of the good rising in you. I have never quit on you, and I never will. I know how often you tried to hold everything together, how many times you gave to others while running on empty. I know the unseen weight you carried, the cost of quiet obedience, the battles fought in the hidden places. You were not merely waiting, you were carrying and contending, and through it all you stayed near. Now allow my consistent regard to silence any lingering shame. Let it remind you that endurance has produced resilience, and resilience will carry you forward with quiet confidence. Some days you felt far from me, yet you never cut the link. You reached toward me when the road was rough, and when your own thoughts told you to quit. Each time you turned back, even with scraped hopes, you showed a kind of steady courage I value. I see a heart that refuses to close, a heart willing to keep talking with me, though the conversation is sometimes painful. I can rely on that. I can build on that. Today, I am ready to share myself with you in fresh, deeper ways than you have known so far. Not because you earned a prize, but because you kept walking. Your honest persistence opened space for more connection. This is the simple reason I lean toward you right now. You stayed, even in silence. That quiet loyalty matters. It tells me you will handle what I want to place inside you next, and it tells you that we can still move forward together. Let me repeat what has always been true about you. You exist for closeness with me. I did not bring you into being only to assign tasks. I invited you to walk beside me, to speak freely, to breathe easy in my company. Before I asked anything public of you, I offered a quiet seat where you could rest and recover. Before any position or responsibility formed around you, I opened my heart to you, and that doorway has never shut. It never depended on your flawless record, on regular routines, or on impressive results. It stands open through kindness, through my steady wish for conversation. Remember this foundation. All influence grows out of connection, never the other way around. Stay aware of the invitation. Sit, breathe, tell me what really stirs inside. Your access is permanent. It remains in place on calm days and on stormy days, on the days you speak confidently and on the days you stumble for words. I want you near, always. Now I invite you closer again, not because you rebelled, but because there is further ground for us to share. Clearer insight, steadier peace, sharper awareness of my quiet signals, stronger trust in roots you cannot yet see. What is ahead will ask for nearness, not as punishment, but as a way to keep the path distinct. Time spent with me turns ordinary moments into set-apart moments. Return to the simple place where you and I sit without outside noise. I'm not asking for flawless speeches. I ask for presence. Bring your real thoughts, the ones you hide under distraction, the worries you keep unnamed, the half-formed questions that embarrass you. I already observe them. Speaking them will not shock me. I can carry the weight you feel. Offer every piece. Not only the polished parts you think are acceptable, but also the tired parts, the confused parts, the raw ache that wakes you at night. Let me show you what I notice when I look. Determination, honesty, hunger for what is true. These qualities tell me you can hold what comes next. I know you, and I shaped what you need for this moment. Release the urge to impress. Drop the idea that you must stay strong every minute or solve every problem on the first try. Set aside the habit of weighing your progress against someone else's. Refuse the thought that I have skipped over your name. You are visible to me. You belong here. I want your heart once more, deeper than before. Open, dependent, unguarded. Bring the tears that surprise you, the sentences that break off halfway, the quiet thanks that rise amid uncertainty. This is the kind of life we will share. Steady, honest exchange. Nothing staged. Out of such connection will grow influence that does not draw attention to itself, but points quietly toward hope. It will not be loud or showy. It will be genuine, and that is enough. This moment marks a shift, not because you forced a breakthrough or reached some perfect score, but because you finally allowed the slow work inside you to stand. From here, matters that once felt jammed and heavy will begin to loosen. The weight mattered, yet its task is complete. It strengthened hidden fibers, and those fibers can now carry lighter movement. Expect room to breathe where pressure once pressed your shoulders. Expect ideas to flow where thoughts once stalled. You did not earn this change by struggle. You simply stayed present long enough for the pressure to teach its lesson. Now a fresh ease will rise, a freedom grounded in what you have already learned. Walk forward without bracing for disaster. You are ready for days that feel light, because you know what heavy feels like. That knowledge keeps you humble, grateful, and alert to needs around you. Carry it gently while you step into the next chapter. Now that your heart is uncovered again, I want to address the quiet questions. Why did it hurt? Why did the wait stretch so long? Why did loneliness feel sharp? I do not dismiss those questions. I do not overlook your tears. I have always stayed near, not hovering above your life, but walking through the middle of it with you. You tried to explain every detour. Still, some chapters cannot be grasped by analysis alone. They are sensed in the deeper place where my voice meets your own. There, beyond calculation, meaning settles. I remained present in every silent season, and I remain present now as we talk openly about it. We will explore the pain together at a pace you can bear. Nothing you reveal will push me away. I am steady and I am patient. Our conversation about your history is part of your future, because understanding frees you to move ahead without hidden weight. Hear me clearly. The pain you carried was never punishment or abandonment. It was pressure that pressed you toward clarity and honesty. It singed the surface, not to destroy, but to strip pretense. I was never interested in a glossy image that only looked strong. I aim for a person who is actually free. Free from labels that do not fit. Free from craving applause. Free from fear dressed up as caution. Free from demands I never placed on you. The tension you lived through worked like a spotlight, showing what is real and what is false. It narrowed your focus to what matters. Although the experience stung, it also cleared space for truth. Freedom grows in that cleared space, and we will keep it open together. As you faced that refining heat, hidden motives surfaced and false labels fell away. Each difficult decision stripped yet another layer of pretense until what remained was the core of who you are. In that core I find honest desire, steady courage, and capacity for compassion that will serve others without keeping score. Think of the dry seasons not as prison but as quiet training ground. The lessons were demanding, yet they guided you to the end of self-reliance and into what is genuine between us. I saw every loss, every forced release, every betrayal that cut deeper than language. I noticed the silence of friends who once promised to stay, and I know the seconds when you reached for me and felt nothing tangible. You wondered if some hidden flaw caused the distance. Number. The empty space served a purpose, expanding your capacity, deepening your roots, teaching you to notice my whisper without external noise. Delay allowed depth. Silence taught discernment. What looked like lack was preparation for what will soon arrive, so it will not crush you. Roots drilled deeper during stretches when nothing seemed to happen on the surface. Those roots now draw from places beyond shallow approval, beyond shifting moods of crowds. They anchor you to stability that is not shaken when results arrive slowly or when praise fades. Standing on that hidden foundation, you can offer shade to others who are still searching for a place to stand. You asked for a quick breakthrough. Instead, I added depth. You prayed the storm would end. Instead, I built strength that stands inside the wind. You looked for comfort. I guided you toward change because comfort without change only postpones deeper hurt. I allowed the surface to crack so that stubborn patterns could finally loosen. Some requests went unanswered in the way you expected, not because I ignored you, but because I aimed for more than relief. I aimed for release. I love you enough to let the shallow things fall so that lasting wholeness can rise. I love you enough to let silence expose false supports so that genuine trust can anchor you. When I withheld instant escape, I was shaping your reflexes. I taught your heart to pause, breathe, and look for me rather than sprint toward distraction. That reflex will guide you in future challenges where quick fixes and bright offers appear attractive but empty. Because you know the difference, you will choose what is real and help others do the same. I saw how hard it was to keep trusting. You thought about running. You considered stepping off the path. Yet even in discouragement, something inside still whispered my name. That faint whisper reached me as clearly as the loudest celebration. It was honest, and I work with honesty. I never asked for flawless faith. I only asked for a willing heart. You offered that heart, even when it cost tears nobody else saw. You brought me time, attention, and questions. Now I will return them, not merely with answers, but with steadiness. Not merely with favorable outcomes, but with the quiet authority that grows in people who have walked through shadow and did not quit. Do not underestimate how powerful that single choice to keep trusting has become. Let me describe what I witnessed while you waited. You were not collapsing. You were gaining strength, often without noticing. Each morning you chose hope again. Invisible muscles formed. Each time you encouraged someone else while fighting your own private doubt, you planted something real. That investment is about to surface. The struggle did not ruin you, it widened you. Depth cannot be faked, and you now carry it. This is why the hard chapters unfolded, not from lack of care, but from careful love that refuses to leave you shallow or fragile. I chose to sit with you in quiet rooms, so you would learn to hear my voice for yourself. Your inner hearing is sharper now, your trust steady, your faith resilient in a way long nights can teach. From this tested base I will open fresh direction. You will sense guidance less like sudden flashes and more like a steady current. Do not rush to announce every insight. Let each one turn over in your heart until it rings true. Some plans will form slowly, quietly, and you may feel unsure because drama is missing. Remember that loud does not equal real. The next season will be defined by quiet certainty rather than noise. Opportunities will come, but peace will be your compass. If an invitation stirs urgency, pause. If a path expands your capacity to love and to remain honest, step forward. Expect to collaborate with ordinary people whose stories echo parts of yours. Together you will build spaces of safety, places where weary hearts can breathe. Your role will not always place you in front. Often you will stand beside, listening, asking questions, offering presence more often than solutions. That is part of the new assignment, to hold a door open so others can meet me without pressure. At times you will wonder whether such subtle work matters. It does. The quiet gestures spark change that spectacle rarely achieves. Measure progress by faithfulness, not by applause. I will keep guiding you in those small moments, and our steady dialogue will shape everything else. You may wonder if you missed your moment, if too much time slipped away. You did not. Promises do not bruise in waiting, and they are not spoiled by detours. I have kept them safe until the right day, and that day is arriving. You will notice small alignments, a sentence from a friend that echoes your quiet prayer, a passage you read that suddenly shimmers with meaning, dreams that come back with clarity. These are gentle signals that unfold in pattern, guiding you forward. Pay attention. Be curious. Let each confirmation remind you that I am active now, not only ahead. Walk alert and grateful, and we will keep moving together. Where life once felt flat, things are starting to move. The ground that looked empty is opening up. I won't just bring back what you thought you lost. I'll add to it. You're not circling back to the past. You're stepping into something new that should have always been part of your story. The weight has prepared you for extra. Holding on under pressure has widened your capacity. What I'm handing you now fits the person you've become, not the person you were. That's why it took a while. I kept the promise safe until you could carry it. Now I'm letting it come, not little by little, but in strong waves. Expect the change to feel both refreshing and demanding. As more arrives, remember how the empty season shaped your resolve. Let that memory keep your feet steady as opportunities pour in. You'll soon see things move faster. Where effort once felt heavy, you'll find ease. Pushback won't set the outcome anymore. Favors you can't explain will open doors that used to stay locked. Supplies will show up out of the blue. Ideas you saved for later will come back sharp and urgent. My breath will stir your dreams again. This time you won't freeze in fear. You'll walk forward calmly because you'll know I'm behind it. This isn't empty talk. It's the real return. A momentum you can feel in your bones will replace the drag that once slowed every attempt. Tasks that used to take days will settle in hours. Observers will notice the ease around you even if they can't describe it. Stay humble and point to me through quiet gratitude. Also, pace yourself. Quick progress can still be tiring. Guard your peace so speed never turns into reckless hurry. I'm sharpening your insight as well. You won't wrestle so hard to decide whether something lines up with me. You'll sense it. Where you once hesitated, you'll feel steady. I'll point out which connections carry my approval and which belong to a past chapter. I'll tell you what to keep building and what to release. I'll lead you with certainty, not fog. My voice will be clear, not far off. You won't need to strain for direction. It will meet you in quiet moments. Think of this discernment as an inner compass, steady and sure. It won't always give lengthy reasons, yet the pull inside will be enough. When doubt tries to slip in, pause instead of pushing ahead. With practice, you'll learn to trust the simple peace more quickly, saving time and avoiding regret. You've asked for signs, and I will give them soon. You'll notice patterns, names, phrases, places lining up. I repeat them not to overwhelm you, but to show you you're not inventing this. What you feel is genuine and personal. I'll back it up through the written word, through others, and through settled peace inside. When the signal comes, don't question it away. Welcome it, celebrate it, act on it. Confirmation might land through many ways. Treat these nudges with respect. Write them down so memory doesn't steal them. I'm calling to mind promises you set aside, whispers from long ago, plans you shelved because they felt risky. I never withdrew them. I just waited until you could hold them without fear. Fresh wind is on them now. Don't brush off the ideas that resurface. If they rise with peace, match my words and pull you closer to me, they're real. Let's bring them to life together. They may look different now, and that's okay. You're different too. A vision can grow as you grow. Welcome the change rather than mourning the past form. Start with small, practical steps. Faith is shown through simple movement, not grand gestures. Simple beginnings create momentum. Set one small action each week, perhaps a conversation, a sketch, or a step of research. Progress feeds hope, and hope fuels progress. Keep the pace realistic so discouragement stays far away. Trust that steady movement, not frantic effort, will bring the idea into daylight. This is the start of clear sight. The haze is thinning, the strain is easing, timing is lining up, and markers are showing. Don't fear what you sense or silence what I reveal. Lean closer. Ask me to make it simple, to reveal what counts, to confirm what's solid. I'm not out to confuse you. I'm preparing you for steady movement and promise. You're not late or unfit. You're ready, and it starts now. Expect a gentle tension between comfort and adventure. That mix often signals growth. When questions wake you at night, bring them to me instead of letting worry spin. I don't reject honest doubt. I meet it with clarity and patience. First you see outlines, then detail, then full color. Honor that pace. Note each insight, even if it feels incomplete. Later, the pieces will lock into place and show the route ahead. Celebrate small confirmations. They are like breadcrumb markers that keep you on course and remind you you're not moving alone. My child, you're picking up the shift, so let's talk about living it. This isn't the moment to stay on the sidelines. Move on purpose. I'm not asking for passive belief. I want your life to line up with what I'm doing. Faith is active. It shows up in thoughts, words, routines, and posture. If you want the full measure of what I'm unveiling, make room for it in practical ways. Momentum without structure can spill, so put simple routines in place. Set clear, reachable goals that align with the promise and revisit them often. Care for your body through rest, nourishment, and activity. Spiritual truth settles best in a healthy vessel. Begin by guarding our time. Connection isn't optional, it's vital. I long to speak every day, not just when trouble pushes you to reach out. Set aside a spot without guilt or routine pressure, driven by real desire. Let my voice start your morning. Don't wake up under the world's weight or your own rush. Step into the day with me. Share your plans and invite my lead. Soon this rhythm will feel less like a duty and more like breathing. You'll notice your day shift from frantic to focused because you anchored first. When you open the written word, slow down. Ask me to speak through it and let it shape your view. Fill yourself with it and let it guide the day. Watch your own speech, because what you say can build or break what I'm doing. Stop agreeing with fear or replaying old wounds. Speak in line with my promises. Call yourself what I call you and bless what I've placed in your care. Declare hope over your surroundings. Home, work, friendships. Words establish atmosphere. If you catch negativity echoing, answer it aloud with truth. If you wouldn't let a stranger talk to a friend that way, don't let the line pass your own lips. Look at your rhythms, the way you use time, strength, and resources. I'm not asking for heavier schedules. I'm asking for focus. This is the moment for precise obedience, not random motion. If I nudge you to pause something, pause. If I highlight a new start, trust me. I'll show you how to shift, simplify where needed. Center your day on my presence and I'll fill every gap. You may need to turn down good opportunities to protect the best ones. That's not failure, but wise care. Stay flexible so unexpected guidance has room. Healthy order brings freedom when I'm steering. Protect your surroundings. Notice what you take in, who stands close, and the discussions you host. Everything counts right now. You're sensitive to my spirit, and that sensitivity is a treasure. Don't dull it with anything that drains you or clouds your sight. Not every option is harmful, but not everything helps. Ask for insight, and I'll show you what brings peace and what distracts. You don't need a crowd. You need alignment with the right voices. Songs, stories, and even background sounds steer your mood, so choose what keeps hope alive. Release ties that only rehearse fear. This isn't harsh judgment, it's careful stewardship. I will replace quantity with quality. Place your plans in my hands as chances appear and doors swing open. Don't rush through them without me. Not every open path is mine, but I'll mark the ones that are with steady peace. If you feel that peace, step in. If you sense hesitation, hold back. Don't push. I guide with clarity, not confusion. I want you to flow, not strain. Keep pace with me and you won't miss your moment. If a door closes after you've entered, don't panic. Learn. Ask what the brief step taught you about timing and discernment, then move on without regret. Sometimes the clear instruction will be to wait instead of advance, and waiting can feel tougher than motion. Use those pauses to finish small tasks, settle your heart, and gather quiet strength. Timing and direction form one single instruction. Following only half of it never delivers the full outcome. Stay teachable. Slow answers are still answers, and delays often protect you from taking on weight you are not meant to carry yet. You're not just seeing breakthrough, you're building your future with me. Patterns will emerge, showing I was arranging details long before you noticed. These records will ground you in valleys and serve as plans for tasks I'll give later. Your journey today will become wisdom for others tomorrow. Don't treat it lightly. Record it, revisit it, and let it steady you during any rough turn ahead. Revisit older entries often. You'll smile at how hindsight reveals my steady hand, weaving small choices into larger scenes. When storms press in, those pages will argue against panic on your behalf by recalling previous help. They will whisper, "We've come through worse. We can trust again." Your lived story will lend them courage and practical direction. Through all of this, stay humble and reliant. The moment you think you can manage this stage alone, drift sets in. I'm not pushing you toward independence from me. I'm drawing you into deeper trust. This next stretch will need my nearness in fresh ways, and you'll find I'm closer than ever. I won't lead you to a promise and then leave you. I'll walk with you and counsel you all the way. Stay curious, ask questions, and keep handing every victory back to me. Pride hides in subtle corners. Catch it early. Gratitude is its remedy, keeping you alert to kindness. You're no longer straining, you're walking in rhythm. Step by step, you're entering everything I spoke over you. Now I want to turn from the promises to the person, you. Not what you achieve or even overcome, but your core self as I designed it before time. Every gift I offer comes from that design. If you don't grasp who you are with me, you'll feel unworthy or forced to perform. Remember, your worth was settled before your first breath. It never rises or falls with applause or criticism. Let this truth sink deep so you can receive new good things without anxiety. What is given by grace is kept by grace. Stand tall in that assurance, and you'll handle both praise and critique with the same calm steadiness and perspective. So I'm addressing the layers you've hidden. Along the way, you picked up titles that never suited you, words thrown in anger, names born from comparison. They came early, or loudly, or from voices you once trusted, so they felt true. I was never in them. I never named you a burden, inadequate, late, fragile, unstable, or broken. Those claims were lies. I'm overturning them now, not by demanding performance, but by speaking truth that erases them at the root. As the false labels fade, space opens for the real names I've spoken. Beloved, brave, capable, steady. Repeat them until they feel honest. They aren't wishes. They're reality from my perspective. Amen.